The only thing stopping you from getting into IT is you.
Today, we're going to discuss the mindset you need to break into tech.
What I've realized in the past 10 years that I've been doing this is that there are two kinds of people who come in the process of transitioning into IT. The first kind is the kind that just give it no choice but to work. They come in, they know that that's what they want, they give it no choice. And there's the second kind of people who come in and they are trying, they are considering IT. And if you come in with the mindset that you're gonna try, it's never gonna work. You have to give it no choice. So these are the kind of people we see in the industry.
Yeah, and I can even talk about my own experience, right? When I decided to change careers, I didn't attempt to change. I said I was going to change careers. So since day one, even before I knew how to write commands on the command line, on the Linux command line, I booked my exam. Like I said, in 6 months, I'm gonna go and sit for a certification exam.
Yeah, and also that can not only talk to your mindset, but your environment too. Because I was here, I was supporting you, I was also making space for that to be the case, for you to giving it no choice. And we have other example. For example, you remember Tawfiq?
Of course I do.
Yeah, it's a student when we were still, before the pandemic, when we used to have our classes live. One day he showed up to class and he said, Jubee, I just quit my job. I have exactly 3 months worth of savings and I need a job before those 3 months. And this is an example of a person burning all the bridges, burning all other options, but to make this work. And guess what happened? He got a job within 2 months with 1 month of saving to spare. So this is just a few examples to explain that if you come into this industry and you come in with a doubt, you come in with the attitude of trying or let's see, it's gonna be a problem and it's not gonna work. You see what I mean?
So basically, you have to come in without giving anything an opportunity to break into your head to convince you that you cannot accomplish this.
And even despite the fact that some excuses or reason are valid. Yeah. For example, life is gonna get in the way. There's no question about that. The idea is to, despite all this, you're gonna make it happen. For example, doing kickoff, the first day of every cohort, I talk to the student, and I usually spot the attitude where they say, "Hey, my name is so and so, and I'm here, and I'm here to try to get into the industry." And this, I usually think it's a red flag, because if you come here and try to do it, guess what? It's not gonna let you do it, because it's not the kind of journey where you can BS your way through. You need a lot of intention to actually make it happen. You see what I mean? We have our career success coach at Yellowtail Tech that said something not too long ago. His name is Rob. He said, I've been in this industry of coaching, career coaching for 20 years. I've never met a student who actually want this and have not achieved it. You see what I mean? Because yes, you can get knocked back. Yes.
And you are going to get knocked back. Like,
yeah. You know.
Your schedule is going to change. Your kid is going to get sick.
And that even happened to us when you were training. Remember, we had a daughter, a baby.
A baby. And I remember we would make arrangements so that I could study 2 hours a day. You don't need to commit your whole life to this, guys. But you have to figure out what's the timeline that you can afford and how much time you can dedicate to the project every single day so that you can make it happen. And I remember I studied through a winter, and there were days, and I used to leave the baby with Jubee or with a babysitter, and I would go out to a Panera Bread or a Barnes and Noble. Like, I had my places, and every employee at these places could recognize me because I would show up daily to study my 2 hours, and sometimes it would be pouring or snowing. And Jubee was like, get your boots and still go out. Like, it still has to happen. Yeah. Because if you stay home, the baby's not going to let you focus. So for me, having those 2 hours of uninterrupted time was part of my success.
Yeah. And I actually vividly remember one day it was snowing so much. I'm talking about 3-4 inches. And Paloma was putting her backpack on and actually heading out in the snow, walking to Panera because it was, 2 blocks away. But that's how you give this process no choice but to work. You do what most people are not willing to do or don't think it's even necessary. Let me tell you, yes, it's necessary. You have to give it no choice to work. And for example, remember our friend Jean Moise, he was moving from Canada. It was going to be his first job in the U.S., but he came in the U.S. with so many credentials. He actually has a master's degree from Cornell. He's a CPA. He has at least 2 master's degrees. You name it, he has it in terms of credential.
And he was interviewing with top companies in the U.S., but he was going for like high-level jobs.
And this dude was getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And I remember one day, we took a walk. He came to see me, and we were just walking around the neighborhood. And I'm like, dude, aren't you, discouraged? He's like, no, man, what are you talking about? This process, I give it no choice but to work. That's actually where I got this sentence. And what he meant was, he would go to interviews, get knocked down, be down for a few days, and then be back at it. Be back at the interviewing process, getting better, getting coaching. He's the first person I know that actually pays for $1,000 worth of coaching just to learn how to interview specifically with Amazon.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yep.
Yo, so it's to tell you.
They trained them on everything that Amazon searches for in an interview, the STAR method, all that kind of stuff. They review how to make his curriculum more attractive. And this is common, especially when you're trying to get to a second or third level in your career, and you want to see that $20,000-$30,000 bump in salary.
Yeah, man. So it's really only you who's gonna stop you from getting into the industry, and just make sure you're in the right place. Because like I said, there are 2 kinds of people: the people who make excuses, and also sometimes, like I said, valid excuses. And these excuses can be family issues, can be, oh, I don't understand the accent of the teacher, or, you name it. And some of the excuses are valid, some are not. But there's the second kind of person who gives it no choice. Be that person. Be the person who comes in resolute with the right mindset to actually break into this industry, because it is worth it.